New videos every day.
How do sumo wrestlers get so big? I'm Joseph Stickland, an applied clinical nutritionist here in Austin, Texas, and a lot of my patients are interested in weight loss. So what I thought I'd do is I'd talk on the opposite side of weight gain and actually give you the information on how sumo wrestlers gain weight, because that's what they do. They actually, for a living, eat and exercise in a way that's going to make them gain weight. So you can actually take some of these principles, and if you're doing them in your life, knock them off, because that's could be something that's adding to your inability to lose weight. The number one trick that sumo wrestlers use in order to gain weight is skipping breakfast. And it's very interesting because in my practice as a nutritionist, I work with people that are overweight. I was overweight. My dad was 490 pounds, if you've seen my video. So I'm used to working with people that are overweight. And the interesting thing about overweight people is 90% of them skip breakfast. They feel that if they don't eat, they won't gain weight. And unfortunately, with skipping breakfast, what happens, the reason breakfast is called breakfast is because it is literally break fast. You've gone 8 hours without eating, and so in the morning, you need food in order to get your blood sugar up. And depending on what you eat, it'll set the tone for the day, whether or not your blood sugar stays on an even keel, goes up, takes a while to burn that food, and then goes down. You eat lunch, brings it back up, and then by dinner time you bring it back up, and then you go to bed, and then the whole thing starts over. But sumo wrestlers take this, and what they do is they actually wake up in the morning, their body wants food, then they exercise for 5 hours without eating. That's right, exercise for 5 hours. So looking this from a person's perspective, you wouldn't want to wake up, do exercise, skip breakfast, and then eat lunch. That would be what a sumo wrestler does. Now, that's the first thing that they do. Now, the next thing that the sumo wrestler does, besides skipping breakfast, believe it or not, they eat about 20,000 calories per day. And on average, they weigh about 330 pounds. That's pretty heavy, and that's a lot of calories. So they skip breakfast, they eat a lot of food for lunch, they take a good long nap in the afternoon like a lot of people want to. If you actually in the afternoon, after you eat lunch, tend to get tired, that's oftentimes a sign that what you ate for lunch had too many carbohydrates. At least that's what we find in practical application, because that's what a sumo wrestler does. They eat a lot of food, so much so that they want to take a nap. Kind of like when you're having Thanksgiving dinner. You eat a lot and then you want to take a nap. Well, they do that on a daily basis. They wake up and then they have a huge dinner. So let's say they had 10,000 calories for lunch. Well, they have 10,000 calories for dinner. And that's what they do. And that's how they gain their weight. So if you haven't guessed it by now, the actual method that a sumo wrestler uses to gain weight is by utilizing his metabolism. And what I mean by that is basically this. Imagine you're in the car and you press down the accelerator pedal. But instead of wanting the car to go, you just flood the engine with gasoline and keep it going the same speed. Well, what happens is the body gets overloaded with this food. And the body has a storage mechanism called fat. It's actually, a better term would actually be potential energy, because it's energy that the body can use later. So the sumo wrestler floods his body with fuel and then forces it to hold it as fat by keeping his metabolism very slow. In other words, he doesn't have that accelerator pedal very fast. He just lets go of the pedal. So the body just holds it in. Now, the unfortunate thing is that has serious health detriment. It's really not good for him. And unfortunately, Americans are going in that realm with our low-fat, high-carbohydrate, high-sugar diets, because it has the same effect, basically, on our metabolism. So what you should do if you want to get your metabolism going really good, that's what made Atkins popular. Unfortunately, a lot of people do Atkins wrong, and they just eat meat, no vegetables. That's not the idea. But if you were to eat just lots of vegetables, lots of meat, and lots of fruit, and stuck to those 3 food groups, and ate consistently throughout the day, with some nuts for snacks, and maybe an apple for a snack, your metabolism would run a lot better. So basically, keep your mind on your metabolism, get it revved up, eat a good breakfast mixed with a good range of healthy, good, unrefined carbohydrates. Have spinach and eggs, or broccoli and eggs, or yogurt, unsweetened plain yogurt, organic, with strawberries. That's another great breakfast idea. A lot of my patients really like an apple and a cheese stick. That's another great idea. So anyway, there's a lot of different things that you can do. But eat good throughout the day, and you'll find that your metabolism has a lot better chance of taking off that weight or maintaining where you're at, whichever you like better. The danger of eating like a sumo wrestler. And I'm actually going to read this for you. The negative effects of the sumo lifestyle become dangerously apparent later in life. Sumo wrestlers have a life expectancy of between 60 and 65, more than 10 years shorter than the average Japanese male. They often develop diabetes and high blood pressure, and are prone to heart attacks. The excessive intake of alcohol can lead to liver problems, and the stress on their joints can cause arthritis. Recently, the standards of weight gain are becoming less strict, in an effort to improve the overall health of the wrestlers. The average height of sumo wrestlers is around 5 feet 10 inches. So what that basically means is, by eating no breakfast, exercising, eating in the middle of the day, and then eating at night, they actually destroy their health. And unfortunately, they get a lot of the diseases that Americans get nowadays. Diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. So the interesting thing is that a lot of Americans are actually on the sumo diet. They're not eating breakfast, or if they are eating breakfast, they're having cereal with no fiber in it, just full of sugar. Basically not eating anything. In some cases, and some would argue maybe even worse than eating nothing. Then for lunch, they have a sandwich which has bleached flour on it. You can watch my video about bleached flour, and it's got all the data on there about that. And then for dinner, they might have, apple pie for dessert, or Twinkies or something. So, unfortunately, this type of a diet, a lot of people are on the sumo wrestler diet. So if you enjoyed this information on how to get away from eating the sumo wrestler diet, go ahead and rate the video. Also, subscribe to this channel. We're working hard to get you a lot of good videos. And go to my website, www.nutritionaustin.com. I work with patients here locally in Austin, and I'm actually giving some thought to working with some people over the internet. So go to my website and check it out. Have a great one.
If you liked this video, we have hundreds of more alternative videos ranging from sexual health to psychology to mind control. So if you liked it, go ahead and click on me to enter the Psychetruth channel.